And this is the Monk profile for patch 7.2.5. Now, a couple things changed for Windwalker. I changed some of the conditions for spells to make sure that they work better with some of the legendaries like the boot like that. And I've also added in a spinning crane kick tracker, so when you have any stacks, it'll show you how many you have, so you can better judge when it's a good time to AoE. Now, another thing I did based on requests from a couple people was, rather than present the chi in a bar format like the rogue profile and the arcane charges from mage, it is still presented in the ball orb format, just as an overlay for the bar. So just a way to cover the best of both worlds without cluttering up the UI and adding a bunch of unnecessary groups and other conditions. But overall, the profile is largely unchanged. A lot of the icons were just kind of moved around, but it should be very similar to the previous version. Now, for Brewmaster, it was the same sort of thing. People were asking me to move Ironskin Brew to be its own bar, and that has been done, so now it's its own bar again. The stagger bar and all other bars are still there, and the rotation is still the same as it was before. I've gone ahead and moved some of the defensive abilities up to the top bars, just so they're more in line with newer tank profile updates, and it just has a closer feel and look to the other profiles in terms of the layout and just the overall feel of the spec. But nothing major has changed here. It's really just a layout and a few additions, such as the bar and other things like that. But overall, it is very similar to, again, the previous version. And again, that comes from the fact that almost every single Brewmaster change was strictly numbers. It was just damage and defensive buffs and nerfs in certain areas. Now, for Mistweaver, nothing has changed. It's very similar. They added a few effects to some spells, but in terms of actual additions to talents and things, nothing is actually... For the layout, I've added in Essence Font in place of where the roll cooldown was. I moved roll to the bottom, and I moved Life Cocoon and Revival to the top, and there's now also a GCD tracker right in the center on top of the rotation. Other than that, the rest of it's the same as it was before, and it should look very similar to the previous version of the profile. Now, the thing about Mistweaver is it's all about tracking your HOTS and being an effective healer with your mana, but there's not really much to track outside of those two things. So, everything is there. Everything that you need to get started is here, and you should have no problem hopping right into it. But yeah, that's it for the Monk profile, guys. Like I said, this was just a quick little update, and I hope you guys like what you see, and I'll catch you in the next video.